really functions to bring us our energy from the food we eat, and it also helps us become resilient to our life stresses so that we can actually function our entire lifetime with the right amount of energy in our body. That's basically how it works.
Today we're going to discuss 5 foods that people over 50 should avoid to maintain good health and prevent common age-related diseases like heart disease, hypertension, and diabetes. We often hear that food is medicine, but resisting tempting but unhealthy dishes can be challenging. In this video, we'll highlight 5 foods that could harm the health and vitality of those aged 50 and above. Number 5 on this list are foods that fall into the category of fast food. Everyone knows that fast foods taste great. This great tasting quality, coupled with the convenience it comes with, has made fast food companies billions of dollars every year and has endeared the hearts of many people. However, fast foods can be very detrimental to people over the age of 50 due to a combination of nutritional deficiencies, increased risk of chronic diseases, and the body's changing metabolic needs. As people age, their bodies undergo various physiological changes, making it very important for them to stick to a diet that is beneficial to their health. Unfortunately, fast food fails to meet these needs in several ways. Fast food is notoriously low in essential nutrients and high in unhealthy fats, sugars, and sodium. One portion of McDonald's pie contains 0 milligrams of vitamins B12, E, and D. Fast foods, in general, lack sufficient calcium, vitamin D, potassium, and dietary fiber, which are vital for maintaining bone density, cardiovascular health, and proper digestive function. These deficiencies, like calcium and vitamin D deficiencies, for example, can lead to osteoporosis, a condition that older adults are particularly susceptible to. This is a very important point to note for people over 50, as a diet rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber is necessary to maintain health and prevent age-related conditions. Also, since digestive health often declines with age, steady consumption of fast foods can worsen this decline. The low fiber content in fast food can lead to constipation and other digestive issues. High-fat foods can slow digestive processes, increasing the risk of developing gastroesophageal reflux disease and gallstones. Additionally, the high sodium content can cause bloating and water retention, further impacting digestive comfort and overall well-being. Also, since metabolic rate reduces as we age, the body burns fewer calories at rest compared to our younger years. This makes maintaining weight very difficult and near impossible. For number 4, we have white bread and pasta.
And one of the things that I think is quite challenging is, first, the quality of the ingredient that goes into the product. So for bread, as an example, the least expensive, softest, longest lasting breads that you can buy in the grocery store, in the supermarkets, are the ones that are made with the lowest quality flour and that have lots of other preservatives added to it to allow it to kind of survive the centuries. Like some of these breads.
For centuries, bread and pasta have become staples in the diets of millions of people across different regions and cultures. However, for people over 50, these foods can pose significant health risks. Why? White bread and pasta are highly processed, meaning they are stripped of essential nutrients during manufacturing. This refining process removes the bran and germ from wheat, leaving only the starchy endosperm. This results in a product that is low in fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Fiber is crucial for digestive health, and its deficiency can lead to issues such as constipation and diverticulosis, which are more common in older adults. Additionally, the lack of vitamins and minerals in white bread and pasta means that these foods contribute little to meeting the nutritional needs of older individuals who may already be at risk of deficiencies. White bread and pasta have a high glycemic index, which means they cause rapid spikes in blood sugar levels. For people over 50, maintaining stable blood sugar levels is extremely important because the risk of developing type 2 diabetes increases with age. A study that looked at the eating habits of almost 138,000 people around the world showed that frequent consumption of high GI foods can increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases and death. Eating high GI foods can also lead to insulin resistance, a precursor to diabetes. In fact, for those already managing diabetes, high GI foods can make blood sugar control more difficult, potentially leading to complications such as cardiovascular disease, nerve damage, and kidney issues.
A little bread probably is just fine. But eating bread the way that we are often served bread or accustomed to eating bread, which is wolfing down large quantities of bread, that clearly, like anything else that is consumed in excess, definitely can compromise our health.
Additionally, the high carbohydrate content of white bread and pasta can contribute to chronic inflammation. Studies have shown that diets high in refined carbohydrates can increase inflammatory markers in the body. Chronic inflammation is often associated with numerous age-related diseases, including arthritis, Alzheimer's disease, and cardiovascular conditions. Therefore, reducing the intake of inflammatory foods is very important for promoting healthy aging. Number 3 on our list is processed meats.
Processed meats are another food product that actually are classed as a carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Now, what kind of processed meats are we talking about? We're not talking about the air-cured salami from Sardinia, that have been made in the same way for thousands of years that people eat sparing amounts of, as part of a more well-balanced Mediterranean traditional meal. I'm talking about the deli foods. You go in there and they're slicing stuff, from a big lump that looks nothing like the animal from which it came. Yeah. And some of these cured sausages, if you visit a sausage factory, I had a patient once who actually worked as an inspector in a commercial sausage plant, and he told me that he used to have to change his boots every month, rubber boots, walking in there, because the stuff that splashed out of the pool in which the sausages were essentially embalming it for preservatives and for flavorings would actually dissolve the sole of his rubber boot.
Oh man,
that made such an impression on me. I'm still talking about it 20 years later.
Processed meats are great in many dishes and diets. Examples of these include canned bacon, ham, hot dogs, and deli slices. But for people over 50, indulging in these convenient protein sources can be a risky gamble. First, processed meats are notorious for their high sodium content. This becomes a major concern for older adults for several reasons. 1. Increased blood pressure. High sodium intake is a leading contributor to high blood pressure, which is a significant risk factor for heart disease and stroke. As we age, our arteries become less elastic, and high blood pressure puts additional strain on the cardiovascular system. 2. Kidney function decline. Kidney function naturally declines with age. The high sodium load in processed meats can further burden the kidneys, potentially leading to kidney disease. Apart from the heavy dose of sodium, processed meats also often contain nitrites and nitrates, preservatives that give them their characteristic color and extend shelf life. However, these additives can turn into harmful compounds in the body, such as nitrosamines. During digestion, nitrites and nitrates can combine with amines found in meat to form nitrosamines. These compounds are classified as probable carcinogens, meaning they likely contribute to cancer development. Studies have linked a higher intake of processed meats to an increased risk of colorectal cancer, one of the most common cancers among adults. This risk is particularly concerning for people over 50, who are already at a higher baseline risk for the disease. Then, there is the high amount of saturated fat found in processed meats. While some saturated fat is crucial for certain bodily functions, excessive intake can be detrimental. Saturated fat has been shown to promote the buildup of LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, in the arteries. This can lead to plaque formation, narrowing the arteries, and increasing the risk of heart attack and stroke. Saturated fat can also contribute to chronic inflammation, a major player in age-related diseases like heart disease, arthritis, and even Alzheimer's. While processed meats may seem like a convenient protein source, they pose a significant health risk for people over 50. So, what healthier alternatives do you have to embrace? You can opt for lean protein sources like grilled chicken or fish, baked beans or lentils, and tofu or tempeh. These options provide protein without the harmful additives and saturated fat found in processed meats. You can also explore the world of plant-based proteins by incorporating lentils, beans, tofu, tempeh, and nuts into your diet. These are very good sources of protein and fiber, which are both vital for a healthy aging diet. Also, when choosing processed meats, pay closer attention to sodium content, saturated fat, and added nitrites or nitrates. If necessary, choose options that are lower in these detrimental additives. For number 2, we have dairy products.
Put dairy in it. Here's what you need to know. Dairy, and I'm talking about cow dairy, right? So not nut milk. This applies to cow dairy. We'll come back to the nut milk in a second. Cow dairy, okay, actually is fat. Milk has got fat in it, like butter, which is made out of milk.
If you're over 50, consuming dairy products can pose several health risks and complications that you never bargained for. As you age, your body undergoes various changes that can alter the way it processes and reacts to certain foods, including dairy. One of them is lactose intolerance. This is a common condition in which the body lacks enough lactase, the enzyme necessary to digest lactose, the sugar found in milk. Studies have shown that this condition tends to become more prevalent with age, with many people over 50 experiencing a decline in lactase production. This could lead to symptoms like bloating, gas, diarrhea, and abdominal pain after consuming dairy products. These digestive issues can significantly affect the quality of life and overall well-being of older adults.
We're talking about the fact that when milk or cream is put into tea, the fat molecules in the cow dairy form little soap bubbles. These are microscopic soap bubbles. They're called micelles. Fat likes to stick with fat. And so tea is mostly water. And so when you pour milk into tea, the bubbles, the dairy fat sticks together and makes a little tiny soap bubble. And what does it do? Those soap bubbles trap the polyphenols from tea. It traps the catechin. So you've got some good stuff wrapped in a soap bubble of dairy. And now when you drink the tea, the catechin is trapped in the soap bubble. It doesn't get absorbed as easily in your stomach, and it just rolls down your gut, and a lot of it comes out the other end, okay?
Also, dairy products, especially those high in saturated fats such as cheese, butter, and whole milk, can negatively impact your cardiovascular health. Saturated fats have been shown to contribute to the buildup of plaque in the arteries, which can lead to atherosclerosis, a condition characterized by the hardening and narrowing of the arteries. This increases the risk of heart disease and stroke, which are major health concerns for people over 50. Contrary to the popular belief that dairy is essential for maintaining strong bones due to its calcium content, emerging research suggests that high dairy consumption might not be as beneficial as once thought. Some studies indicate that excessive dairy intake does not necessarily correlate with a lower risk of fractures or osteoporosis. A high intake of dairy can sometimes lead to calcium leaching from the bones. Furthermore, dairy products are acidic, and the body may leach calcium from the bones to neutralize this acidity, potentially weakening the bones over time. A bigger issue is that commercial dairy products often contain hormones such as estrogen and progesterone naturally present in milk. These hormones have been shown to sometimes interfere with the body's hormonal balance, particularly in older adults. For women over 50, who are often postmenopausal, an imbalance in hormone levels can exacerbate symptoms such as hot flashes and mood swings. Additionally, some studies have suggested a link between dairy consumption and an increased risk of hormone-related cancers, such as breast and prostate cancer. What if you love the taste and feel of milk and are not too excited to give it up? Well, there are numerous alternatives to dairy that can provide the necessary nutrients without the associated risks. Plant-based milk options such as almond, soy, and oat milk have been shown to be fortified with calcium and vitamin D, both of which are essential for maintaining bone health. Additionally, green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, and fortified cereals are excellent sources of these nutrients. Incorporating a variety of these foods can help ensure a balanced and nutritious diet without the potential downsides of dairy consumption. Number 1 on our list of foods to avoid are fried foods.
Most oils that are reused, when we heat them to cook, whether we're actually, again, deep frying is generally something that's not very healthy. The process of deep frying actually changes the natural chemicals that make up oil in the oil itself, and then paint it onto the food, stick it onto the food. So we're eating some of the changed chemicals when we actually eat deep fried food.
Fried foods are delicious, which is why many people worldwide have developed a craving for them. But if you're over 50, it might be time to tame that craving. Why?
It's totally fine. But when you fry things in hot oil, you're also changing the chemical structure of things. That entire browning, golden browning, crisping of food actually changes the chemical structure of the food itself, and in ways that are potentially carcinogenic. And so just need to be careful about that.
Fried foods are typically high in unhealthy fats, particularly trans and saturated fats. These fats can raise levels of LDL cholesterol while lowering HDL cholesterol. Elevated LDL cholesterol has grown to become a significant risk factor for heart disease, a condition that becomes more common with age. As the arteries harden and narrow due to plaque buildup, the risk of heart attacks and strokes increases. For people over 50 who are already at an elevated risk for cardiovascular diseases, consuming fried foods can accelerate the development of these conditions. Fried foods are also very calorie-dense and can contribute to weight gain. Since metabolism naturally slows with age, your body requires fewer calories. Regularly consuming high-calorie fried foods can lead to obesity, which in turn increases the risk of metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is a group of health issues that includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, and abnormal cholesterol levels. Metabolic syndrome significantly raises the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases and type 2 diabetes, both of which are prevalent in older adults. Regular consumption of fried foods has also been linked to an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. The high caloric content, combined with refined carbohydrates often found in fried foods, can lead to insulin resistance, where the body's cells do not respond effectively to insulin. This condition is a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Fried foods are also known to promote inflammation due to their high content of advanced glycation end products and trans fats. Chronic inflammation is common among older adults and can contribute to various age-related diseases, including arthritis. Thus, fried foods can worsen joint pain and stiffness, making conditions like osteoarthritis more painful and debilitating. Reducing the intake of fried foods can help manage inflammation and improve joint health. In an interesting turn of events, emerging research suggests a link between diet and cognitive health. Diets high in unhealthy fats, such as those found in fried foods, have been associated with an increased risk of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. This means that feeding on fried foods can further affect your brain health, reducing its power more significantly. What then is the way forward from all of these? 1. Instead of white bread, pasta, and fast foods, prioritize whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains. This would help you better manage your health, enhance your quality of life, and reduce the risk of chronic illnesses. Therefore, limiting or avoiding fast food is a critical step toward achieving and maintaining optimal health in the later stages of life. 2. Instead of eating out or having takeout, cook at home. Cooking at home allows you to control the ingredients and prepare protein sources in a healthier way. You can also experiment with different grilling techniques and low-fat cooking methods. 3. For dairy products, replace them with plant-based milk options such as almond, soy, and oat milk. These would give you all the benefits you need without further endangering your health.